This is the Poetry Reading and Roundtable edition of People and Their Poems, hosted by Sandy Lee Carlson.
So welcome everybody to the Poetry Roundtable, sponsored by People and Their Poems, the podcast, and Orenaug Mountain Publishing. It's great to be here today on this first Sunday of September 2025. All right, so we got two featured poets, Naomi and Sharon. Naomi, would you get us started by reading your poems?
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be a part of this group. I'm so glad that I discovered you all. Choosing poems to read was, I guess, not that much of a challenge. I just decided to go with my favorites. I'll just start reading and then say a little bit about them if necessary. This one is called The Shape of Wind. Close enough to kiss, two hawks pass, coiling in air, enraptured raptors, eyes catching pieces of light, radical pairs quantumly entangled, Earth's magnetic field flashing below like runway beacons, visible pathways guiding their flight. Do they also see the gusts on which they glide, currents curling under their wings, a deep gray-blue sea, tornado of green, fiery flames surging with the wind's pulse, sparks swirling like starry skies, tidal waves of wind crashing over houses, howling sirens of windsong rattling windows, washing through trees, swaying languidly like old lovers dancing, the hush of leaves shushing, pouring through wild fields of tall grasses rushing, swells and eddies and pools, lakes of wind, thin trickles, swirling tentacles of wind, like writhing snakes, fingers of wind beckoning, tendrils twirling like smoke, ribbons of air tying bows, twisting strands of hair, brushing ripples across reed shades, sending shivers over the surface of a stream, or licking sun-bare skin, the shape of dunes of sand, scalloped edges of drifting snow, rain slicing sheets billowing on a line like puffs of clouds, fluffs of down floating upward, dandelion tufts like flakes of snow, snow blowing sideways and gyrating arabesques, leftover luffs of sails or spinnakers filled round like dizzy's cheeks, a pirouetting dancer, an ice skater spinning faster and faster, a dervish whirling, fluttering of prayer flags and butterfly wings, an escaped balloon ascending slowly, spiraling up and up and up, perhaps to heaven, breezes cascading around this tiny blue jewel, the shape of Earth's breath, the shape of a poem flowing, of petals opening, undulating saplings, their silver backs of leaves shining like new flowers, wild rose perfume rising, the shape of chimes singing, a sigh, a whisper, a laugh wafting, the breath of a beloved caressing, the shape of love. Thank you. So, being new to this group, some of my backstory has come out through previous poems I've read, but a lot of my work has to do with sorrow and solace. My daughter, Ellen, lost her life at the age of 17. And so much of my writing is about that. And that's just sort of the background to this poem. It's called No Small Thing. A small bucket on my doorstep greeted me one gray late winter day. Inside, pale pastel heads closed tight against white plastic. A bundle of tulips lay wrapped like a delivery from a stork. And Happy Spring, Love Catherine on a torn scrap. Perhaps because she knew that Scout, my guide, my lifeline when Ellen died, had left her body, and I was again lost in sorrow. Or perhaps because she works in a grocery store where flowers are, or perhaps, well, because. Soon they unfolded a surprising deep magenta, faint indigo stains, ringing center stamens, dripping black mascara, and every time I thought, this is it, this is their fullest beauty, they changed again. Translucent petals bent backward, twisted in dry spirals, holding their magical hue, now fragile in the splendor of old age, morning light leaking through those transcendent trinkets like tinged glass, casting pink shadows, dancing on the floor. I kept them until every petal fell off, collected each papery purple feather to flutter over the rock with Ellen's ashes. Those flowers gave me so much joy. That is no small thing. And okay, this is going to be tricky. This is move things around. This is a prose poem, so it's laid out a little differently. I want to be able to see you and it. Almost there. All right. So I don't usually find myself writing to prompts, but a group that I'm part of had a prompt one day to write about your internal landscape. And that's where this came from. It's called Heartscape. I am the lake, the white-capped waves crashing wildly, and the quiet swells licking the island's lichened rocks. I am the island, nestled in solitude among the comfort of my own ebb and flow. I am the blueness of the bright sky kissing the greenness of the water's surface along the hem of horizon, that elusive space between day and night, sorrow and joy, love and pain. I am the hiding stars and path of moonlight into the dark. I am the seagulls gliding below the rim of the surrounding mountains, little white clouds of grace. I am the minnows and rainbow trout, scales reflecting undulating ribbons of sunshine. I am the hope of tadpoles and frogs frolicking, insects within their flowery ecstasy. I am the spidery webs in wet grasses, tucked tenaciously in contours of sinuous soil, collected in winding lines of centuries-old stones. I am the soil gratefully receiving the rain. I am the rain, the patter on dry sand releasing the earth's aroma, and the storm. I am the uprooted pines, the songbirds keening for lost nests, the raging wind ripping seed heads from flowers. I am the seeds that wait. And it's called Wonder. The way a swallow balances on a single swaying stalk, the way its bones are hollow and a yellow leaf wafts upward like a butterfly or skitters like a chipmunk across the forest floor, and a tanager glows like a coal in the canopy. The way if you sit still long enough, letting yourself blend into the dark, you can follow firefly trails. The way some things you can only see from the corner of your eye, like the Pleiades or rainbow light at the edges of clouds. The way sugar is made of sunshine and rain, and our bodies are exploded stars from thousands of millions of miles away. The way strawberries shimmer like jewels hidden below green leaves, and when cut open, their hearts bleed red like us, but oh so sweet. The way you still visit in my dreams, and when I awake, feel you here. Thank you again for inviting me.
Thank you. And I know we have some folks who are kind of new to our format. It's a roundtable. I send out the Zoom link, but people can unmute and comment on the poems as you see fit. Leave a comment in the chat if you prefer, but that's kind of the protocol. We just unmute at will.
Since I'm pretty new here, I just like to say, Naomi, I think I recall the last time I attended one of your poems, and I was struck by how you pair really beautiful word choice with the sound you pay a lot of attention to. connecting different sounds. I wish I did that more. I wish I had a talent for it. You do it so beautifully. And it's very distinctive, I think, with you.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. I do pay attention, and a lot of times it's intuitive. Like I'll be searching for a right word and decide on it just because like it sounds better. And then much later I'll be like, oh, that has an internal rhyme with something else, or, I'm not sure why I've chosen it in the moment.
I love the line in one of the poems about the flowers, perhaps just because.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't that how it always or often is? Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I like the way the bird is flying through the air, but the air took on this 3D shape and became this entity, and I just really liked that.
There were so many incredible lines like close enough to kiss, rakes of wind, licking sun bare skin. I mean, I'm the hope of tadpoles and frogs. I mean, those lines just, wow, amazing, just beautiful.
Thank you, Sharon.
Poof.
So nice to hear feedback. So often we just sort of read in our little vacuum.
Thank you so much, Naomi. That was lovely. Also, the pacing, the way the movement of the air and the air current, and as that became more intense, so does your pacing. It was very, very powerful to just go with the movement of your poem. So thanks for that. Sharon, do you want to read next?
It's an honor to be here. And Naomi, it's an honor to read with you. You've become one of my favorite poets in a very short time. This one is called Bird Speak. Bird Speak. I don't speak bird. I don't read it or write it. My only tongue is the English version of human. Sometimes, though, on my morning walks, I do listen to bird conversations and speculate about their topics, their opinions, their agreements, their disagreements. On my walk today before the rain started, I felt damp on my cheeks, saw the sky hover soft and heavy, and it was clear to all of us, the trees, the squirrels, the birds, the worms, and to me, it was going to be another very wet day. I noticed this morning's bird talk had a familiar, slightly kvetching timbre, like when I pass another walker and he complains about the impending rain or tomorrow's forecast for more rain. I don't speak bird, so I can't say for sure they were complaining about the weather. If I did speak bird, I would ask questions. What do we look like from up there? Where do you all go when it rains? That's bird speak. Thank you. This one is called A Jug Full of Hope. With a jug full of hope and a bag full of intention, I left home at 19, 500 miles, Ohio to Washington, D.C. It was 1969. A borrowed cot, $200, no car, but the promise of a roommate on a bus route. What could go wrong? The world was full of possibilities and mysteries. Washington was full of peace marches, monuments. The air was full of the Beatles, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Coretta Scott King, marijuana. I was full of courage, curiosity, naivete, at times a dangerous mix. We wore moccasins as we marched, saw soldiers on rooftops with machine guns. It's 55 years later, and I still have hope, but it's more measured, maybe half a jug full. Because always it seems there is war somewhere, and always young men and women are sent to kill and to die. But in 1969, I had thought maybe the world could do better. That was a jug full of hope. Thank you. And this one is called Uncertainty. Uncertainty. I'm in my 8th decade on this planet. Well, my 8th decade this lifetime. Don't know if it's the first, only, one of many. No one knows how that works. There's always been much speculation. We humans want answers to even the most mysterious of questions. Did we exist before? What happens after? We crave answers, make them up, call them facts. Forever, it seems there have been wars because some group thinks it has the only right answers. Me, mostly I find myself comfortable not knowing, making my way through life, taking in as much of its sweetness as I can. I am certain of this. We are meant to be kind to each other. That's uncertainty. Thank you. And my last one is an older one. It's called Whose Woods? For my neighborhood's biggest black bear. Whose woods? He saunters by on solid, low-slung haunches, sniffs at the grill, continues on his way, unimpressed by our landscaping efforts. Doesn't give one damn about our deeds or rights of way. He lives in these woods, was born in these woods. He will walk where he pleases and eat what he finds. His kin predated these condos. I watch from my window, impressed by his smooth, muscled glide, thick black coat, calm, cool countenance. I don't take a picture, it would feel petty. He crosses the street, picks my neighbor's biggest pumpkin up by the teeth, swings it back and forth slowly by its stem, and walks unhurriedly back into these woods we share, but really he owns. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
Yeah, I wish you had a picture of the bear swinging the pumpkin so
He
you
did,
could
really
post
did.
it for Halloween. That blows me away.
Yes.
But wonderful, wonderful, Sharon. Thank you for all your pieces.
Thank you.
Poems were really wonderful. I especially loved your second poem on Washington, D.C. It was like taking a guided tour through your youth and through the city's landscape. And I could also draw a contrast with what the city has come to represent very recently with the deployment of troops and the tinge to the marches, which has become more earnest. And so I think you, really drew a line from then to now, and the idea of protests becoming more severe and more the need of the hour. And also, I love the poems about the bird song and, of course, the bear.
Thank
Such
you so
variety,
much.
really. I really learned from all of you so much, and your poems were no different. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love the theme of questions, and of course the kvetching of the birds. That one that was wonderful. But it seemed like questions keep appearing in these poems. So much is so visual that I could imagine that the bear swinging the pumpkin and the smooth muscled glide. But of all the we are meant to be kind, that just gets me every time. It's so wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Naomi.
Sharon, Jim posted in the chat that he likes the plain spun language and the tone. It's so accessible, and I did. We see that every time we hear you read, and you have a real specialness for making that happen. You never leave a poetry reading that Sharon is at asking, "What was she just talking about?" But so it's relatable and it's gettable and it's fun.
Thank you so much, Ed. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I just put in the chat that I came to California in 66, and there was so much going on there, and I really relate to your politics or your expression and your participation. And yeah, yeah, to be kind and yeah, we're all in this together. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Sharon. I just want to add that your bird and the bear poem, this really make us think about our place in nature, you know, and our notions are so turned upside down by the way animals behave around us, you know. And I just love the way you capture that with your very distinctive humor and insight. I just loved it. So thanks.
Thank you, Sandy.
Sniffing the grill and walking by. Probably didn't like the barbecue sauce.
Well, thank you all so much for listening too. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Lynette, would you read next?
All right. Hi, everyone. Great inspiring pieces shared by our two featured poets today. Thank you for continuing to inspire us with your beautiful words. I am going to find me a nice piece that I wrote very recently. Okay, it's called Until the Pages Start to Fade. Until the pages of my story start to fade, I hang my head in a weak attempt to save face. I haven't done enough, so I hold too much shame, and I fell face down in my quest to pass blame, wasting so much time to whine and complain, jealous of those who were splattered with fame, because their stories would live on and never fade. I spent so much time watching how they play the game. I don't have anything to show in my name. And as I sit watching my hair turn gray, I feel it's too late to make my way. I'm stuck so deep I stutter when I pray. This is all because of the bed I made, deeper in the mire that I can no longer wade, knee-deep in debt for the bills I didn't pay, waiting for the violin that would silently play. There's no way out to my dismay. So until the pages of my story start to fade, I'll somberly watch the cards that I have played, because I have to face my destiny someday. Thank you.
Nice rhymes. Really good. And they sounded pretty effortless. I really liked I sit and watch my hair turn gray. And I also really liked I stutter when I pray.
Oh, and so poignant, so deep that I hang my head to hide my shame. Wow. Not in your poetry, girl. There's no shape there. Great piece. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, they really,
You're sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that the sounds flow. Nothing sounds forced.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. Your poetry has consistently had such effortless rhythms and cadences, and you have such joy when you recite your lines. That's a constant. So that's something really to celebrate. And we poets do celebrate that with our words. So thank you so very much.
Yeah, I think the music of your poetry identifies the joy and the struggle, and lifting up our humanity, which struggles. So thanks, Lynette. That was lovely. Betty Lou, would you read next?
I have a very short poem, and it chose me today to read, called Tears. Do my tears matter? I do not know. They come unbidden as our spirits share the grief.
Thanks, Betty Lou. Wow, that's such a moment. I think your poem caught me by surprise the way tears can when grief unbidden demands our attention, through our tears.
Betty Lou, you have like a knack for sometimes writing these very short pieces that say a lot. I still constantly, I think you should like to know that I constantly think of your line, I am standing here whole in my brokenness. Is that, you have one like that. And I refer to it constantly. This would be similar to that, a keeper.
Thank you, Amy. I always appreciate your feedback and Sandy's, who I hear most because I see you most. So there are just moments that capture me and paralyze me, and I pick up my pen and write it down.
Yeah, glad that you do. And I think part of what makes the poem feel so personal is because they're so relatable,
Mm-hmm.
Well, and there's so much to grieve now for all of us.
Thank you, Betty Lou.
Thank you.
Cynthia, did you have a poem today?
I do have a short poem. Sure. Thank you. It's great to meet some of you that I haven't met before, being relatively very new to the group. Nice to see those who I met a few weeks ago again. Thanks for having me. So I have a little poem called Fascinating Rhythm. A kind of dance ripples over the earth as the goddess Gaia sends her warm, moist breath through cracks, crevices, and caves, over ponds, lakes, and oceans, through the trees and over mountains, pulsing and energizing the living planet and all who abide here, like cells of one gigantic being, from the smallest clay particle to the whale and the redwoods, all reverberating in the never-ending dance. That's it. Thank you.
The idea that we're cells of one gigantic being is so encompassing to my understanding that we're all one. They're all part of this planet Earth, all part of this community, this smaller community of our poetry group here, people from all over. Thank you for that.
I think of Gaia as, massive, and yet it's so personal and so intimate where that breath finds its way, what's possible. Just the vastness and the small, intimate immediacy at the same time is really wonderful. So thank you.
I love the never-ending dance too. It's just a beautiful, beautiful way to end. Just perfect.
Thank you so much.
Charlotte, would you read next?
How to capture a moment. Dawn comes to the dark of the hemlock woods, cresting the eastern hills in a big bright ball, sending a slow flow of light down the western slope, finally flashing on the straight trees where I stand. How to capture morning's glorious awakening. Luxuriating in the light, I remain still, noticing a barcode behind the trees, straight lines of shadow on bright white snow. Gray squirrel scampers to a halt among the stripes, hind feet turned uphill and firmly planted on the slope. Front paws digging furiously to recover a buried acorn. Is an advanced barcode reader what I need to hold this scene? For a vignette of moment, I was flowing in the present disintegrated as I tried to both flow and hold on. I must let go of the idea of a machine to capture experiences. As I let go, the squirrel quickly cracks the nut and chews feverishly on pieces transferred from hand-like nimble black paws. With the last bite of acorn, it's up a nearby maple, out a long limb, and leaping to a birch, running along a flimsy branch to meet and hug itself to the trunk, just for a second, then gone. Acorn eaten, squirrel out of sight, nothing to be seen. Just swaying branches, sun rising higher, barcode fading. So hard to accept there is no magic machine to hold for sharing or reliving the experience of life's transient intersections, times, places, actors together and gone, but for a poet's words, fixing the moment to a page.
Life's transient intersections. Perfect.
Thank you.
I love that fixing a moment to a page. So it's engraved in paper, embossed. Lovely.
And the barcode imagery makes you really stop and think of what other mysteries are there to know? How do we become the barcode reader that can tap into those mysteries? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
I just love the idea of, right, your brain connecting barcode, something so not natural, right? It's right up there. Who's the poet who always has the kind of like, it's the flea and mistress or something. I can't think of it right now, but
John Donne?
John Donne, right? That's a very like John Donne like association. And you really carried it off beautifully, extending it out. And I just like to say that I'm always trying to recreate experiences and getting disappointed. You know, you have a beautiful dinner and you think it's the restaurant and it's not. So anyway, thank you. It spoke to me.
Oh, great.
Amy, did you want to read next?
Okay. I have a running story. I've been doing about a group of kids around some woods. And there's a storyline. So they're story poems. But I've decided to kind of dot them, intersperse them with poems about things we find in the woods. And one day I was walking in July and I knew I had to write about this. Ghost pipes. Ghost pipes are up. Let's sit down. Let's whisper and shiver, lean in and listen. From somewhere or nowhere, the ghost plant visits in late July, a little different from its greener kind. It tries to fit in, it grows, it blooms, but only ghostly white, singular, much like the moon. How can something so light be so dark? The gloomy glow is a sensation, a mysterious guest, a mushroom mimic, quite a trickster taking a break from its survival elixir. Aware of its fate, its flower points down toward its realm, the vampire empire deep underground. So it shrivels, beats a hasty retreat, darkly disguised, full of deceit. It drains lifeblood from forest giants. Preying on friendship, the lonely hunter bites, and no one ever knows. Ghost pipe frights. Ghost plant is up. Let's sit down. Let's whisper and shiver, lean in and listen.
Sounds fully baked to me. It's beautiful, really beautiful. I loved are up, let's sit down. That whole, the ghost pipes are up, let's sit down. And there was another one, singular, much like the moon, really got me. But there are a lot of lines in there that are just beautiful. It's really great, really good.
Seemed like this was a really good year for ghost pipes, and I wanted to say something about them myself, but just nothing came. And I really like what you did. I also like the rhyming, the kind of surprising rhymes of tricksters and elixir. That grabbed me, but all just the rhymes interwoven in there, I find that hard to do.
I just wonder what you guys think. I'm a horrible rhymer, so Lynette, I don't have that. I try, but there's no pattern. And did that bother you? Were you expecting rhymes and they didn't come?
No,
No.
just when they were there, they were great.
I love the Vampire Empire.
It was like an incantation.
It felt really fun to me, and without the like the rhymes, as somebody just said, when they did come, they were just delightful, but they didn't feel like there was a pattern that you then were expecting and needing to follow. I also really liked the much like the moon connection.
Amy, I was working on removing invasives from the botany trail at Flanders this summer, and we had this massive pile. And Jeanette was working with me, and Jeanette works at Flanders Nature Center, and she's a tiny force of nature. And she hauled over some burning bush across the wall, and then she said, "Be careful, ghost pipes." And they were coming up, just where we were building the pile, but we're risking life and limb to avoid crushing these magical plants. So I think your poem just took me back to the nature center, and just a very connecting moment with Jeanette and the work we were doing to respect the trail and put it back, invasive free as much as we could. So, but thank you for that. It really, to me, it just had such like an incantation. Really wonderful. Prithvijeet, our faithful friend from the other side of the globe. You want to go next?
I'm going to read a poem today, and it's a special occasion because it springs forth from my debut solo book of poetry called A Word in Heart, which just got released into the world on September 1st. And the poem that I'm going to read is especially dedicated to Sandy Ma'am and to all of you, because Sandy Ma'am has been very kind in sharing her feedback regarding the book, and it means the world to me. And this poem is titled I've Given Peace a Chance, and it's a tribute to my feline baby, Queenie, as I call her, and to all our furry friends who teach us so much about love and compassion. So, Sandy Ma'am, this is for you, and of course to all of you present here. I've given peace a chance. The vast interiors of my beloved cat's eyes, yellow and green, the sound waves of a love song, and the primary softness of her body beget time, stilled to a superior attachment to the little hours where she adjusts her gaze with an unaccustomed earth. The chances of her surviving this world are greater on an everyday basis. The holdovers of rage and diffidence are like indistinct clouds that pass in the sky before her wide eyes. I had never known such stillness in my life. I had never known the comfort and balance of a creature who lets indivisible days and the lazy minutes after 2 o'clock become like marmalade spread out in an open jar, liable to be tasted and profoundly savored. I've given peace a chance without accusing myself of being distanced from her. She now guides me to sleep, placing her paws on my chest and breathing with me. It is because of her that an unaccustomed earth has finally begun to share its mysteries of comfort, rest, and acceptance with me. Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. And congratulations. And oh goodness.
Thank you.
I'm That's so sweet. I'm not fond of cats, but but to hear that from you, it's like, bless you and bless your cat. Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
And maybe
No,
you can go out and rescue one now, Isabell, right?
Well, I really love cats, so I could
Oh.
really I really did enjoy that. And I loved the title, I love the Give Peace a Chance and the reference to obviously John Lennon there. So thank you for that too. It was lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
There were some lovely lines, the sound waves of her love songs. And, the purrs are just so, they do sound like sound waves and they feel like a heartbeat almost. And I had never known such stillness in my life. I thought that was just beautiful. So, and I know they breathe with you when you go to sleep, and like
Yes.
they wake you up sometimes, patting your cheek when they want you to. At least mine did. It's like, it's really a lovely, lovely poem. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was really, really moving, very beautiful and moving. I also enjoyed the minutes like marmalade. What an unexpected comparison. Very
Thank
sweet.
you. Thank you.
So full disclosure, I'm not a cat person either, but your poem brought me to a different appreciation of cats, for sure. And when you're a dog person and you read a cat poem that touches your heart, you realize that peace has a chance. That there are ways to approach those other life forms, other people that you think, oh gosh, no way, but there is a way. So. And it's through our imagination, creativity, and deep respect for life. So, and that comes through in all of your poems. It's a really lovely, lovely collection.
Thank you so very much. And thank you for being a champion of my poems, always.
Yeah. Oh, it's easy. Jim, do you have a poem?
I do have a poem, but
All right.
I need to ask first, can you people see me?
No.
I'm afraid to fiddle with my computer for fear that I'll lose the dashboard that I have, which allows me to see all of you. So you'll have to hear a disembodied voice. You're not going to be able to see me. I'm sorry.
This is just.
This is a poem that I wrote over the summer up on Cape Breton Island, which is the northernmost section of Nova Scotia province in Canada. So it was written from an experience on a beach, which is on the Gulf of St. Lawrence. The title is The Seal on Inverness Beach. From the clay cliff, it was driftwood, gray, nondescript, abandoned by the tide. Stepping across round stones and sand, first we saw its head, then the gaping, rectangular outline of the white shark's bite, each tooth defined and clear, the seal, absent the fat middle of its body, like a cookie cutter, had bit through its belly, leaving only the bony spine exposed, running from head to hind flippers. Why, we asked the old man in his white fishing boat at the marina, was no more of it eaten? He shrugged. Out there, he motioned, are many seals and sharks and creatures no one has ever seen. And that's exactly how it happened. The seal on Inverness Beach. So I just tried to write it down.
The vision, Jim, is so sharp and clear. And we're there on the beach with you, with our tears running down our faces. Thank you for sharing that moment.
It's just a moment from nature, I guess. But to me, what was most vivid about it was how rectangular the bite was. And I looked up pictures of white sharks, and their mouths, unlike our own, are not round or oval. When they're open, they're really rectangular. It's like a box, sort of. And it just cut through that seal. The only way I could give you a metaphor is like a cookie cutter through dough. It was that clear. Amazing thing. Scary too. But
And I hear in it a kind of a metaphor for so much of what goes on nowadays that people just are careless and wasteful, and they take because they can take. You know, so many seals to choose from, so much life to take a bite out of. Well, at the same time, it's a moment in nature. You know, a shark satisfying an appetite.
But to only take a bite and leave it.
it was a hell of a bite.
The care. I mean, yes, to be able to destroy in one bite.
Well, this was a big fat seal. This was an adult gray seal, a big one with a great big belly, and most of it was gone.
Right.
And maybe the shark just thought, I got the best part of this, and I don't need anything else. I don't know. But
I just spent a summer in Cape Cod, and the seals are ever present on the Atlantic, right there on the beaches, and they watch you and you watch them, and
right.
They're just a crowd favorite, in fact. And right, that everyone says, right, like, stay away from the seals, but stay away from the seals because, right, that's what the white sharks want. And
Right.
anyway, so powerful.
Thanks, Jim. Ed, you got something?
I do. I wasn't sure what I was going to go with, but in response to Bird Talk, retitled just for today, this is Bear Think, or What the Bear Thinks. Anyway, what the bear thinks. I have no idea what the bear is thinking. Is it running out into the open because it's scared? What would scare a bear? Is it rumbling across the road so as not to get hit? Does it even know the danger there? Is it quickly moving to catch up with family that emerged earlier? Did other cubs leave their sibling behind? No one knows but the bear. But here's what I think the bear is thinking. It's doing the garden tour, running from one by the river to another to eat its next course. Or smelling the clover in the field, it's excited to look cute rolling around with the bees and the blossoms. Or wanting to see how many people will stop to watch its every move. It's hoping for a story of a new spectator record. I have no idea what the bear is thinking, but I'm thinking it's not going to admit only one driver stopped to watch him at play as it plowed across the road, into the field, into the clover, into the woods, before getting to the garden over the hill and catching up with the other bears.
Can I just say I had a bear nightmare last night?
You did.
Truly, I did. It's weird.
I really enjoyed it.
I love the questions. What would scare a bear? I love, does it even know the danger there? And I really loved it. Is it doing the garden tour and eating its way through the neighborhood? But there are a lot of really good lines in it. And I felt like I could see it. See what, the action in it. It's really good, Ed. I like it.
Thanks.
Is life getting wilder and wilder just in poetry or today, or what's going on here? It's so funny. I meet up with some women who live in a mobile home park near me, and they've been talking about seeing mountain lions or cats or something, not just coyotes in their yards and wandering around. And I mean, this is a town. It's not It's not like we're even a suburb or out in the country, and it's just bizarre. And are they hungry? Are they looking for food? I don't know.
All right. Would it be okay if I read now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I recently received an email with an invitation to write an ekphrastic poem in response to some art done by people up in Hartford, Connecticut, who have disabilities or in recovery, a whole bunch of different circumstances. So this poem is Daughter of Light and Time. And the painting is called Woman of Light. Love enlivens you, sweet mother, daughter of life and time, keeper of home and hearth, breather of hope, signposting the journey. I see you dancing, spinning light, earth, air, in water into a family of truths. We are earth children, feasting on sun gifts that fill our souls with stories of the stars and the star that feeds all life with colors that converse with the sky and with the clouds and blossom in the summer sun. Perfume gifts to the heaven where dwell the spirits of the mothers and lovers who dreamed us here, and whose arms encircle the world in light, the life force sheltering us from cruel night. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Mothers and lovers who dreamed us here is incredible. And that concept of spinning into a family of truth is really lovely. It's beautiful. Love enlivens you.
Thanks, Sharon. And
Beautiful.
Naomi, when you were reading about the stars in color, I thought, oh, wow. What's cosmically happening with this group, I guess cosmically on multiple levels.
I feel like it really captured the essence of the painting as well.
I felt like the painting had a lot of movement, and you captured that really well with words.
And the colors. Yeah. Very a moving painting, literally, physically, and you captured it well, I think. Yeah, thank you.
Isabell, did you read?
No.
Would you read for us now?
Sure. This was it's this guy Finn Hall, who's a Scottish guy, and has his website or something is called a blot from the blue, and he asked for poems about beautiful nuisance. So, zip it. My oldest sister's wedding dress had 52 satin-covered buttons down the back. She could have used a zipper. Her new husband would probably have liked it a lot better, easier access, but so gauche and cheap. He was a mechanical engineer, she a dress designer. They had 5 kids, so I guess the buttons didn't slow them down too long. What is it that makes this device so useful, not to mention clever, but it can be a nuisance, like for guys with front zipper pants? Don't think about that too long. Plastic ones aren't very strong. Metal ones can be very sharp. Who thought up this beautiful nuisance? There are always consequences. Okay.
The graphic is great.
Yeah. I love a poem that makes me laugh.
Good. That's the idea.
The whole thing is great, but the graphic just makes it perfect.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks, Isabell. And thanks, everybody.
This has been People and Their Poems. Glad you could join us. If you'd like to know more about what we do, please visit our website at OrenaugMountainPublishing.com. Check out our poetry anthologies and learn how you can take part in an upcoming collection. Let us help you publish your next book. Once again, this has been People and Their Poems, presented by Orenaug Mountain Publishing. Have a great day.